welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the Grado headphones, the analog experience, and my review of the Grado SR60i and the Grado SR325x. I'm going to start by talking about the Grado Glass. Grado headphones are handmade in New York. The Grado Glass does not advertise, but I came across a picture of a real nice pair of headphones made of wood posted on Facebook by an audio retailer in my country, and it turned out to be from Grado Labs. And I kept digging into the Grado headphones, what they are, who make them, and what kind of music these headphones are for. And I was hooked. I actually never seen a pair of Grado headphones before in my entire life. The audio stars in my country don't put the Grado out for display, and although I know some popular brands in the audiophile sector like the Sennheiser, the Bowers, Wilkins, and they do know the feel from Asia, the usual stuff, but I never come across Grado Labs. Grado is actually very popular in the audiophile community. Grado is a family company that has been making audio equipment since the 1953. At the beginning, they make phono cartridge. Grado Labs make their first headphones in the early 90s. The headphone ranges from the entry level called the Prestige series to the flagship Statement series. The flagship Statement series with these striking wooden housings. And surprisingly, all Grado cans are made in New York in the exact same workshop since 1953. Now let's go to open back headphones. Open back headphones allows air and hence the sound to pass through between the inside housing to the surrounding, and vice versa. This makes you hear the sound like they are around yourself. So basically like the music being played on the speakers. The downside of these kind of headphones is that they allow the outside noise to come into your ear while you listen to the music, and also the people who are sitting next to you or near you may hear what you are listening to. The Grado headphones are like the 70s headphone made in the 2024. Nothing from the Grado shows high technology. The Grado headphones are really simple. There are two drivers stored inside of the two cans, and they are connected with the headband and the cable running from them, these two housings. I really like the way the Grado is constructed. They are simple, easy to fix, and very easy to be mounted, and you can buy the replacement part online. But because the Grados are quite rudimentary in terms of the construction, a lot of people really hate them for that. One example is that because they are too simple and the construction is too a little bit flimsy, they can break easily. The Grados are definitely not built like tank. In fact, they look great, but they feel flimsy like many reviews have demonstrated. And I don't mind the feels because I really appreciate the simplicity, and I eat it up like a fanboy. But to be honest, I like to handle fragile things and keeping them safe in one piece. I'm actually a dental student, and I already learned to work with very fragile tissue inside the oral cavity and to handle expensive dental equipment. So I feel the Grado perfectly fun and interesting to own. And the reason that I make the video introducing the Grados and reviewing the Grados is I do believe there's an overlapping between who loves film photography and who also like the vintage sound from the Grados. And maybe there's a chance that if you like film colors in photography, you like Grados the same way as I do. Now, after the initial research on Grado Labs, I decided to buy a pair. And at first, I thought about buying a new pair of Grados SR80X, which is slightly more expensive than the SR60, about 140 USD in my country. But I was really skeptical about owning it. Everything I read about Grado were mildly negative. There's a Grado issue when your hair gets stuck inside the housing, causing crackling sound, and low quality build, or maybe the Grado sound too bright, not bassy at all, too harsh at high notes, and the list goes on. So I initially went to a retailer to try on a demo pair. It took me about 2 minutes listening to a track of Cigarette After Sex for an old pair. It was actually SR60, and I was taken aback by the mid. The plastic build was not convincing at all to buy one new pair for 140 bucks. And then I searched around and I got lucky to get an SR60 for just about $30. After about a month, the SR60 was convincing me enough to drop another $325 for a new pair of 325x. Now the two of them both have vintage vibe by their retrospective design, but for the better or worse, they are manufactured the same way old headphones used to be made. The open back headphones are definitely not for library and quiet place. I enjoy using them while sitting at a cafe, sitting on the benches at home, and I actually like the way they let the outside noise to pass through the housing, so you can hear both the sound inside the coffee. For example, I can hear the steam nozzle sound, the clattering of the glasses, the gentle hums of the conversation, and the Grado let all of those sounds to enter your ear while listening to the music. This may enhance the sound to feel a bit more vivid, visceral, intimate, without blocking everything out and the sound. Very much like film cameras, the same way I like shooting Fujifilm with the film emulation, with all the grains and the colors of the film emulsion. Grados provides the similar experience with their sound. The sound signature of Grado is bright, grainy at high mid and the treble. The sound may not be anyone's cup of tea, but I enjoy listening to the Grados the same way that I enjoy shooting my Fujifilm S Pro 2 and my Super 16 Blackmagic camera. But because I love the way these devices produce the sound and the image, which is not clinical, not very clean, not the most true to life, but with human touch. They have their imperfections and limits, and I totally enjoy that. The Grado are tuned by ear by John Grado, and maybe that human touch draw me into the Grado. Right off the bat, the SR60 looks and feels plasticky. Definitely. It's lightweight, and honestly, if it wasn't about the Made in USA tag, the headphone can be a real disappointment build quality wise. But as soon as you put them on your ear, the sound would absolutely convince you. Very American. Now, the comfort of having the Grado on ear for a long time is, in my opinion, quite okay. Not the best, not the most comfortable, because the Grado SR60 is lightweight. You can wear it for a long time, and you can see that the cable of the Grado is really thick, and that is an eyesore to many people. I like thick cables because, well, thick cable making is quite durable, and I have no problem having a thick cable at all. Grado 60 is one of the most affordable open back headphones in the market. Not the most, but one of the most affordable. And even from the entry price point, Grados delivers the sound signature at this level. You already get the Grado sound quality. It's detailed. There's so much detail that you can listen to. Moving up the price ladder, what you pay for is not new or any more exotic sound, but you can get more refined improvements along the price increase. Like you have metal or wood can and finesse, some more finessing. But I noticed a slight shrill sound when listening to the SR60 high-pitched notes during very rare moments. This could be due to the plastic housing or any potential faults in my pair, but this never happened with my SR325x. So you should definitely try the cans first at the store or buy them used, like I did. So if you don't like the Grados sound, you can return them or just sell them back. The Grados have a peak at 2 and 5 Hz, so that makes the mid brighter, more noticeable, but also grainy, and you may not like that peak. So the Grados have detachable earphones, and the cushion have the old sound characteristics, believe it or not. And so you got to do some research on what's best to your taste. Now, the music genre suitable for the Grados, in my opinion, indie music, because I really enjoy with my Grados Vietnamese indie music and classical music. So with the voices, they take full advantage of the soundstage of Grados, and the Grado really shines with the vocals and instrumentals. So acoustics and indie, maybe some rock music goes really well with the Grados. But remember, the Grados are very likely not for you, so you have to try them at the store first, buy them used. But if you like them, you like the Grado sound, the SR60 has the potential to be the best value headphone for casual listener or for beginner audiophile. So, but I decided to sell my SR60 because I want to buy the SR325x new. Now let's move on to the SR325x. This is the most expensive Grados in the Prestige series. The sound is marginally better, or you can say it's significantly better, but this cans belong to the mid-5 sector. So you step into the sub 500 USD category. This is not a huge step financially, but you have to already find yourself comfortable with audiophile equipment. And the X series also have some changes. Now you have the fabric cover cables instead of a rubber cover, and the F cushion is only on the X series, which is nice on the ear. So the SR325 is a major step from the SR60 sound-wise, but not gigantically huge, just still a major step above the SR60. They have the same driver, but the drivers inside of the SR325 are more refined. Now you can have the metal cans instead of the plastic, which reduces the distortion at high frequency, making the sound warmer But this could be all subjective, by the way. I could possibly have placebo effect, but overall the metal housing possibly keeps the sound more stable, less sibilance. The build quality is a jump from SR60, but still not as impressive as Sennheiser, Sony, or even Marshall and other hi-fi audio equipment. I love the metal cans. They give premium feeling, but the Grado is nowhere near the build qualities of Sennheiser or Sony. Like I said, the Grado is a 70s vintage cans made in 2024. I already know how the Grados are constructed, so that's not a surprise. But if you come from camera like Fujifilm, the craftsmanship of the Grado does not hold a candle to the Japanese build qualities. But from how I experience, the Grados are durable in normal daily usage. As long as you keep them in hard case, you have to keep the hair and the dust out of the grill. And lastly, you can always fix or buy replacement parts online. And this might not be the case for any other modern brands. Owning a Grados is pretty much like owning vintage Nikon or Canon lenses. They are decent build quality from the last century, but they are not as competitive as in 2024. Still, people own them because they love the sound of Grados the same way they love the image created on vintage glasses. It's like owning a Moka pot that brews decent coffee. They're simple, easy to work with, but definitely not a modern device. And in conclusion, the Grado sounds the same way vintage lens or film stock looks on photography and cinematography. They sound analog, very detailed, bright, grainy, but unclinical, humanly imperfect, and full of characteristics and soul. Thank you for watching this video.